Thank you for tuning in to Sundays at the Square. I am your host, Toni Ringgold, and I hope you're having a wonderful weekend thus far. I know that I am. Well, we are here early this week because I had to get in with the man with the plan who always got something going on right here in Central Texas. He has been on this show, I don't even know how many times at this point, but every time he comes, it's such a great time. And I'm super excited to have him here today as well. We are here to talk about a wonderful event. I believe this is the second annual.
Third
annual. Get me together. The Taste of Africa, diving deep into culture. Super excited about it. And we want to talk a little bit about it today. So without further ado, I'm going to have our guest introduce himself.
How's it going, Toni Ringgold's world? Hey, this is Rodney. I'm with Impact Outreach, stands for Intelligent Minds Proven and Applying Commitment. We have programs in the Juvenile Detention Center, at risk, and foster care centers where we work with kids, troubled, at-risk kids, youth, and try to get them some firm footing. And you guys are here for the Taste of Africa, so come out and support. All proceeds go to the Taste of Africa and Impact Outreach.
Awesome. So I am really excited. I'm a lot of my regular listeners already know who you are, and I'm sure a lot of people in the community know who you are, but I really kind of want to give some of those that may not know you and know all that you do in the community a little more in-depth about the person that's sitting next to me today. One of the things that I think that is so important to understand is that you have been involved in doing community activities and outreach and development for our youth for how many years now?
Actually, it's getting up there 17, 18, 19 years. So, I mean, I've been knowing you since about 2000-ish.
Yeah.
And let's see, I started around 90, probably 2000, 2001. So, when I really kind of dove into this thing. So,
wow.
This is it. The community is all we have, and this is an investment for the future. So I've just been paying my tidings. Like if you go to church and you put that $10 bill in there, I've just been donating time really out doing that legwork with a group of people, as Toni knows. And Toni's been supporting me throughout the years as well. So
yes, I mean, the first time I laid eyes on you, I think we were at the Juneteenth event over at the Friendship House in Temple, Texas.
Yes.
And that was the first time I met you. And I remember sitting there and listening to you. And I just remember saying, who is this guy? This guy is something important. And if he isn't, he is going to be. And to watch you grow and watch all of the things that you've done in the community throughout the years, it's amazing. One of the things I really that was inspiring for me is what you do with Impact Outreach. Can you let the people know a little bit about that nonprofit organization?
Yeah, so what we've been for the last probably 10 years have been inside the Juvenile Detention Center working with at-risk kids, trying to help them transition out, if it's through job fairs within the facility, if it is what we call a day of expression where we get the kids to express certain things that has transpired in their life through poetry, song, hip hop. Mm-hmm. And then we bring in people from the outside. So a lot of people have had those special invitations where they got access to be in there with the kids. Also, we've done job fairs on the outside. We had a television show on PBS.
Yes, the job fair.
Yes,
Let's elaborate on the job fair a little bit.
So the job fair kind of came about. Kids like, there's nothing to do in the summertime. We need some connections. If you can bring them out, we'll show up. And we've done 4 job fairs here in the city of Temple. And throughout that time, we've got pretty close to about 300 kids hired in some form, shape, or capacity for the summer. I'm pretty sure we had something to do with a little bit of reduction in crime on the east side because a lot of these kids were working and doing different things. And then we had our television show for 4 years at our youth chat, the chat that everybody needs to hear. And we're trying to revamp that show right now. So.
Let me know.
Yes, I will.
Because that is awesome. I really like what you said about, not only do you work to try to prevent, like you said, reducing the crime rate among our youth, but you also go in when some of those kids have made bad choices and they're in the juvenile detention center, you go in and you try and help that way too. So not only are you doing prevention, but you're doing intervention. And to me, that says a lot about you, because sometimes people, the only thing they want to concern themselves with is the nice stuff. You know, oh, let's do the great fun things. Let's do the good things in the community, the things that's going to be on the news and people are going to want to cover. But you do the stuff that's behind the scenes. You help kids that people have forgotten about, and to me, that's what separates you from a lot of the other people that I see in the community sometimes.
Well,
I'm just being honest.
No, I appreciate those words, because they really do mean a lot to me, because there's a lot of stuff that I do that I can't talk about.
Right.
And, sometimes, if you're very vocal about certain things you do, sometimes attention kind of shifts over to what other people are doing. But I deal with minors, and a lot of the stuff that I deal with is very sensitive topics. Mm-hmm. If it has something to do with incest, if it has something to do with crime, if it has something to do with murder or assault, these are minors, and I'm kind of held to a standard within the juvenile detention center to not speak about these cases openly, because these cases do go in front of Bell County or in other counties throughout the state of Texas.
Right.
So we've had a lot of kids that come through Bell County with some serious caseloads, but what we do is we try not to judge them,
right?
Because some of them are there for horrendous crimes.
Mm-hmm.
But what can we plant in them? I truly believe in the seed principle, and analogy has nothing to do with the Bible, but we all walk and talk in seeds. And just like an apple tree, if it's cultivated, if it's nurtured, water, air, all the different things that it needs to grow, it grows and it bears fruit. But
right.
if you strip him of those certain climatic affairs that needs the nutrients for it to grow, it won't give you an apple, if you inhibit
right.
that growth. So what we're
or
trying
if
to
it
do,
does give you an apple, the apple is malnourished.
It's malnourished.
And it's not going to provide all of the things that you need, the nutrients.
Yeah.
You know?
We're cultivating the soul, the mind of the child. And we can't make them do anything, but what we can do is show them what they done wrong and show them the right way to do it.
I love it.
So.
I love it. Why this?
Why this?
Why this?
You know what? Honestly, it's a purpose and it's a passion, and it was a gift that was given to me. And a lot of times when you are given a gift, it scares you and you walk away from it. And I kept walking away from it until I was kind of forced into it, and I either had to make this thing happen or not make it at all. So that's kind of why I do what I do. I don't get paid for it. I really don't. I lose more money just leaving my job to go do half the things that I do than going to the juvenile detention center,
Right.
And a lot of times this what we do. A lot of the money comes from myself or from Terrence or Mr. Malcolm or Miss Casper or Miss Miriam or Miss Lavina or Miss Rhonda Brown or Dr. Claudia Brown or whoever's donating their money to us. So, but again, it's not about the money. It's about what can I pay for the next generation.
Right. And that's so important. A lot of times we get caught up on our day-to-day. And if you're just tuning in, you are tuned in to Sundays at the Square. I am your host, Toni Ringgold. You're tuned in right here on B106. I'm talking to Mr. Rod Duckett. He is a mover and shaker in the community, and he's truly, truly a philanthropist. I can't even say that word right.
You said it right.
Philanthropist. That thing. He gives people. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm trying to use my big word. You know what I was saying.
Well, but it's with everything. People, and we had this conversation before. Sometimes people get information. Sometimes people get certain things, and they want to hold it like it's theirs. There's nothing to hold.
Mm-hmm.
A perfect example. First of all, I like to do this. I like to congratulate you publicly on air for this wonderful thing that she done with the kids. I wasn't able to be there, but it was absolutely wonderful, and everybody raved about it. My good friend Lavina Sabri was like flipping over chairs and like calling me. It's like, we gotta give her more money so she can do this again. But again, when you came to me and we initially kind of talked about this, what did I do? I gave you information that was vital to you.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Vital.
If it wasn't for this man sitting next to me, we would not have been able to put on the camp the way that we did. It would not have been successful the way it was. He literally put me in the lap of everything that I needed, from the facility to the food to the location for the event. for the actual showcase. But I mean, everything that you could possibly think of that we needed, you provided that. Just and it's so important. And I must say this: it's so important to have a good name and a good reputation. Now, all of us have haters. Listen, let your haters be your motivators. That's cool. But when you have a reputation of being a person that does what you say you're gonna do, and you build relationships with people, literally, we were able to get into the location off the strength of just of a phone call, and that speaks volumes.
And if I may add to it, and I truly believe in 6 degrees of separation amongst people. How I got connected to him was through Miss Lavina Sabri.
Right.
And imagine that Miss Lavina Sabri gives me a nugget. I talked to Mr. D over at Kids University. We hit it off. It's a wonderful thing. And he wants to do more in the community. You come to me and you say, you know what? I really got to find the place. I got to find the right place. I pick up the phone and I make a phone call. So indirectly, Lavina helped you, and directly she helped me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To make those connections and those things happen. And that's what it's about, giving information. Just giving information.
Just giving information.
To help someone.
And you know, my motto I say at the end of this show, and I live by, and I'm going to put on a t-shirt, there is enough sun for everyone to shine.
Need an umbrella.
Really, there is enough sun for everyone to shine. Like, you don't have to hold on to information. That's one reason why in our community, especially, I hate to say it, but in the Black community, we have a lot of problems sometimes coming together because we, like, you know, we talk about the parable of the talents. We take our talent and we hide it and we bury it, and we don't want anybody to touch it, and we don't want to share this talent, but we're not realizing that if we cultivate these things and grow together, we're able to bloom into something so beautiful, so magnificent. You're holding on to your one little seed so you can have one flower, but if you combine those seeds and put it in an area and cultivate it, we'll have a beautiful garden. But people don't think that way.
2 principles I live by. First principle is one of the greatest motivational speakers of all time, Les Brown. Live full, die empty. Meaning that you live full of life, but when you go, you've given everything to life that's possible. And then number 2, Denzel Washington says it best. I have never in my entire life seen a U-Haul behind a hearse, meaning that you can't take that stuff with you when you're dead. Because the Egyptians tried it and they got robbed.
Sure did. Yes, I love it.
Yes.
I've never seen a U-Haul behind the hearse.
Never.
That's a Facebook post.
Never.
That's real.
Yeah, it is. It's just straight up. It doesn't happen. You can't take it with you, so you have to be able to give it back. And this is what we do and what you do in the community, and what Lavina do, and what Danielle Ryder does, and just different people in the community. Dory Collins, we give this stuff back. We give it back because we can't take it with us. It's not even ours to begin with. It's a gift, and a gift is meant to be given away.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Makes no sense to go Christmas shopping and keep all the gifts.
Yeah. You know, and so now we see all of the things you're doing. Aren't you doing something else in Salado?
Yes. I'm glad you said that. See, I got so much stuff going on, I can't even remember. So all these events, people, that I'm doing, the Taste of Africa, the African American Arts and History Showcase, we got a play that's coming up, which I'm pretty sure you're going to be in the 14th, and then
my daughter is going to be
your daughter,
Trinity.
Look at that debut, baby.
I'm super excited about that.
So all this stuff that I do leading up to our banquet on September the 28th is to raise funds for our transitional living center in Salado. We've bought approximately 2 acres of land, and we're trying to build a transitional center to help some of the kids when they get out. Right now, I have 2 or 3 kids getting out from juvie, I think Miss Casper told me, and they don't have a place to go. And I feel like such a failure because I got this land, but I don't have a building to house these kids, because some of them do need to be housed. And a lot of them are going to leave this county, and their parents are not going to see them because they can barely see them while they're in the county. So,
right.
So you guys help me out with this.
Well, how can people help you? How can people get involved? Because that is so important. I'm going to tell you, a lot of times people, they look at habitual offenders. And when we talk about habitual offenders, we're talking about people that leave, they get out of being incarcerated, and then they come right back.
Yes.
A lot of times it's not that they want to come back, it's that they don't have options. They don't have, that support to say, hey, you don't have to go back to the streets. I have a place for you to stay. I have a place where you can grow, where you can learn a trade, where you can learn, you know, that is really one of the main reasons why people reoffend.
Yeah.
And so what is it that you need? What can we do to help you in that? Because that is so important. I'm going to put on an event for you. I am. Like, I've been thinking about it, and the more I talk to you, and even just thinking now, like, when you say you got 2 kids and they don't have a place to go, that means that hit me hard.
Yeah.
What can we do? How can we help you?
So the biggest thing is money and time. Money and time. Money and time. What we need is, and we'll roll this out in September. You'll start hearing this in September. By the end of August, we'll do what is called our 100 by 100 by 12 for a year. And basically what that is we want to get people to pay $100 every month, okay, you know, for 12 months. So that way we can have our money for our operational fund.
Yes.
That'll be our operational fund. And then we'll run another one for our actual building fund. And you'll see this. And $100 a month does sound like a lot of money. It really does. But we're asking for you to make a $1,200 commitment for the year. And if you want to roll that over in the next year and do it again, you can. If you want to just say, I've paid my $1,200, we've got that too. And then there's going to be some complimentary type things that we'll give to you. And I don't want to tell you all of it.
Right.
But your
$100
$100 will walk them into the building, and your $100 will walk them out of the building, because each brick that they step on, it will be you, your donation, your name on that brick. That'll be the support. And like I told Toni earlier, there's a foundation that we must stand on, and they need to know that people has donated time, money, resources to give them this golden opportunity to come in and get rehabilitated and leave out.
Yes.
You know? So, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to raise funds.
And then even businesses. Hey guys, you know, business owners, we can swing $100 a month. If you just look at your business expenses and you look at a couple of things, $100 a month, I'll tell you right now, Premier Music Academy is on board.
Yeah.
We will do it, because I mean, it is one of those things that is so necessary. We have to get outside of ourselves. We have to get outside of our day to day. It's so easy to. I'm a mother. I'm a single mother of 3. Now I shouldn't say single because my ex-husband, we co-parent. Yeah. He sees his kids every other weekend, and he does pay his child support. Amen. So
good.
So I'm not
pays child support.
Yes, good. Pay your child support. You know what I mean? And I wasn't the vindictive mom to put him on child support. I just needed help with medical at that time. Yeah. And let me tell you,
babies get sick.
Let me tell you something. If you go apply for medical or anything, and you estranged from your husband or whoever, or baby daddy, they gonna put them on child support. Just FYI, people. That's just a sidebar. Just listen. I'm just letting you know.
To your baby mama. So.
But I'll tell you, honestly speaking, he does take care of his kids and stuff like that. So I'm not one of those where I don't have any support. But I do have 3 children that I take care of every single day. And I'm still willing to say, you know what? I'm going to take this from my business, and I'm going to pour into what you're doing, because I believe in what you're doing.
Thank you.
You have proven.
Thank you.
Proven.
Yes.
There's evidence of what you do in the community, and that is what's important to me.
Exactly.
Because I see a whole lot of people talking a whole lot of stuff, and they don't be doing a whole lot of nothing. You hear me? And I'm like, listen, what are you really doing in the community? And so I implore everyone that's listening, even if you can't do $100 a month, you know, if you could do $10, $20 a month, $30 a month, whatever you can do it. You know what I mean? Even if you say, okay, you know what, I got a lump sum, here, take this while I got it in my hand.
Exactly.
Whatever it is, please, because our kids, our youth need this help. They need somebody that loves them. They need somebody that believes in them.
Yep.
And we can do it together. You know, they always talk about it takes a village, but it truly does. And if the parents are not able to do it, and they're not in the position to do it, it is the responsibility of the elders in our community. It is the responsibility of us to help these kiddos, so that, because this is our future. They are our future. And if we don't get serious about this now, where are we going to be in the next 20 years?
Yeah, you have to make these investments. I mean, I learned from some of the old men growing up that when you have children, your life is over with. because you're investing in the future. So it's not about saving for you right now. It's about saving for these kids in the next 2 or 3 generations that's pushed out. So as a man, you've got to be able to outlive who you are. See, if you have a last name, regardless of how you got that last name, that last name is a surname. That surname carries on for generations.
Yes.
So you're not who you are. I'm not Rodney Duckett. I am a Duckett, and I carry on different spiritual components of different family members within me that brought me to where I am today. I mean, I wouldn't be where I am today if someone did sacrifice for my family for me to actually be here. So, and a lot of what I do is a part of what we do in my family. We have a tendency to give back in the community and try to make a community a better place.
Yes.
Because that's all we have. You know, it's so
Literally.
much negativity that's out there right now for kids. A lot of times they look at our African American kids and they kill them.
Yep.
People want to kill them. Police officers want to kill
They
them.
shoot
Bad
first,
police officers want to kill them. Not
ask
all
questions
police
later.
officers, but bad police officers sometimes have this thing in their mind that our children are bad. And you want to know why? Because our generation truly dropped the ball.
Yeah.
The men dropped the ball. The women picked up what they could to try to become men in the process, but collectively together as a race, we all dropped the ball. So what I'm trying to do is pick the ball back up, pick the baton back up, and let's run. Let's get in the game. Let's take care of our youth. Even if it's not your son or your daughter, you have a responsibility as a black man, as a black woman, to do your due diligence. Do your due diligence. And don't be on the sideline sitting on the sofa saying, no, such and such killed such and such in the community.
Watching the news, watching Facebook posts. I just, there was a young lady, and I don't know the details behind her death, but there's a young lady that just died over this past weekend, and I think about so many young people that I see on my Facebook, you know, GoFundMe accounts and things of that nature, because they can't afford to put these people in the ground, because they didn't even think about getting life insurance for them yet. No. They're young people that are losing their lives daily, you know what I mean? And it's really, and then if they're not losing their lives, a lot of them are making crazy decisions and doing things that you're just like, what in the world is going on? I mean, and I'm that mom, I'm that woman that if I see a kid and they're a teenager and they just cursing and talking crazy in public, I said, you know better than to talk like that in front of these adults. And they look at me like, and I'm like, now
stop being scared of them kids.
Yeah, don't be scared of them kids. Oh my God. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of those kids, you think that some may have a nasty reaction, and I still don't care. Yeah. But for the most part, all of those kids are like, yes, ma'am, because they don't have anybody to correct them and say, you a king, you're a queen, quit acting like that. You know what I mean? You're royalty. Don't dumb yourself down like that. Don't act like that. And those things are so important. Just small things. Like I remember, let me get off my soapbox. I remember being in middle school, and there was this song that came out, and I can't even tell you the name of the song. It was like from one of the underground rappers in Houston or something. And it was so nasty, and it was just talking about it was vulgar. And it was other young girls sitting there. And now, mind you, the only way I learned the song was through them at school, because my mama for sure wasn't gonna let me to listen. Listen, my mama was a holy roller. We had to listen to gospel every day.
Knocked it the next week.
Listen, all the way in the next week. And I remember sitting there and I'm learning, because I'm musically inclined, so I'm learning the song and I'm singing and I'm rapping and whatever. And it was a young man. He was older than me, but everybody looked up to him. And he pulled me to the side. He said, "Antonia, come here. And I came and I said, and he said, "Don't do that. That's not you. Don't do that." He's like, you're too good for that. Yeah. And it was life changing for me, because he was the cool guy. He was the one that all the girls had secret crushes on and all of that. And he was like a group leader or something for the little community center, but everybody loved him. And he pulled me to the side and he said, "Don't do that. You're better than that." And I gotta tell him that, because we're friends on Facebook. I'm gonna tell him that today. But it stuck with me. Yeah. That. Yeah. And when you think about it, if you do that for a kid, if you just take a moment, you can literally change a person's life, the path. Yeah. It was like everything shifted. I'm like, oh, I'm too good for that. I'm not gonna talk like that. That's not me. You get what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. I don't think people realize you don't realize how important your voice is. For all of our listeners that are listening right now, you see a kid going down the wrong path, take a moment and speak to them. Even if they act like they're not listening to you, I promise you they are.
It's all about respect. A lot of times people say, well, when I grew up, this is what happened, blah, blah. Well, times have changed, and now you have to treat people with respect. Most of the time, I always talk to the young men. I'm the most non-thuggish brother out there. I mean, like, it's me and Carlton from the Fresh Prince running neck to neck. So if I can go...
you got a little more swag than Carlton.
I got a little more swag than Carlton. You hear that, Carlton?
Like
you hear that?
Don't do yourself like that, man.
But, you know, I go to these kids and I just have a conversation with them. Most of the time, if I see them in the mall, I ask, hey, what's going on? You hungry? Most of the time, they are. You want something to eat? I sit down, feed them, talk to them, and they listen to me. You know, they be like, oh, old school, man. Yeah, that's good stuff. You know, I appreciate that. You know, I always ask them where the mind's that you don't have to steal anything. You don't have to take anything. And the cool thing about me is I got street rep. I call it street rep because my street rep is because of the kids that I help in the juvenile detention. When they see me with their friends, they be like, oh, that's Mr. Duckett. He be in the juvenile detention center. I got to pull up my pants. I got to get right, you know?
I love it. I love it.
Because I set a mark where I gave them a standard. And there's an expectation when you mess with Mr. Duckett. When you see Mr. Duckett, pants got to go up. Hats got to be flipped around. You got to talk like you got sense in your mouth, you know? And I need to know where you're going. You know, I always ask them where they're going. And our little algorithm that we have in the juvenile detention center is called the grind. That's the name of our curriculum, the grind. And it stands for getting ready inside now for delivery. So when I walk up to my kids, I ask them, are you grinding? Mr. D, I'm grinding. No, Mr. D, I'm not grinding. I need to get back on that grind. So we want to get them ready for delivery. We got to get them ready for delivery because they're going to be delivering something to the next generation. It's not about me, old school, old soul. It's about those younger people going out and talking to the younger people so we can have this domino effect. We have to do this. These are our kids. So don't be afraid of your kids. Work with them. That's what we're doing. Everybody works. You work with me. Lavina works with me. My group works together. Bell County Juvenile Detention Center works with me. The judge system, the court systems work with me. Let's all work together.
Let's do it.
If you want to be a mentor, get in contact with me. You can hit me up on Facebook if you're watching right now, or 254-598-0240. There is a background check. So if you don't pass a background check, doesn't mean that you can't work with me. It means that we got to find another way where you can work with the actual kids.
Yes.
Okay? So we need you. We need mentors. We need volunteers. We're going to get ready to start this countywide mentorship that Bell County wants to start, and you'll hear that rolling out in about 2020. So if you're somebody that wants to be a part of a true mentor program, work with kids that are truly just raw, and you want to get in there and really develop that rawness, hit me up. Hit me up. I bet you it'd be more female than men that hit me up.
Yeah.
I bet you it'd be more female than men.
Men.
Where's all the men
our
at?
Listeners, step up.
Where's all the men at?
We need you.
I mean, come
we
on.
need
Men?
you.
Men?
Seriously.
Yeah. So-
Seriously. Whew.
I know.
Man.
I know. We always go.
If you we do.
We up in here
always
sweating.
go. I'm telling you. Listen, if you just tuned in, you are tuned in to Sundays at the Square. I am your host, Toni Ringgold, and I'm sitting here with the incomparable, the amazing, the intelligent. He's all that and a bag of chips, Mr. Rod Duckett. We're talking about all of the wonderful things that he does through Impact Outreach, the nonprofit working through the Juvenile Detention Center, and now we're really, I guess we just now getting ready to talk about
here we go.
the taste of Africa. The taste of Africa. Tell us real quick, because we're running out of time. Tell us real quick about the taste.
Here's the thing about the taste of Africa. You know, everybody knows that I go out of the country and I travel to Africa. And a lot of people are like, oh, my God, one day I want to go to Africa. One day I want to go to Africa. So what I've done is brought Africa to you. I've brought in groups from Ethiopia, from Senegal, from Kenya. I brought in groups from Liberia. Some Nigerians going to be there. And we're going to just pretty much have an African family reunion. There's going to be vendors there. Your girls are going to be singing.
Yeah.
They're going to come out and sing. I got drumming. I have everything all up under one roof, as Baba Tunde used to say. And we're going to make the thing happen on that day. Check it out. It is a fundraiser for our nonprofit. If you go on Eventbrite right now and pay for the tickets, they are $10. You wait the day of the event, there's $15.
Yeah.
If you are a vendor and you want to vend, I'm sorry, you missed my early bird. I stretched it out as long as I could, but it's only $125.
And you're going to make your money.
You're going to make your money because
there are hundreds of people that come.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Last year we had almost 700 people. Year before that, we had almost 1,000 people to show up.
Yes.
So you will make your money on that day.
You will.
If you are a food vendor from an African country, or you just a food vendor, period, if you want to come out, come out. People are always hungry. They always tell me, each year, there's not enough food, because everybody be eating up all the food before 1 o'clock. So if you want to sell out of your food, come on. We're going to have Italian ice cream there. We're going to have slushies there. I think my guy that's going to be running around with all his parakeet birds. So you see all these colorful birds that'll be there on that day. It's just going to be a wonderful event.
Okay.
Yeah, July the 14th, Sunday, coming up 2 weeks.
Okay. That's what's up. We'll be there. All right. So, guys, I just love having you on. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
The Taste of Africa, Saturday, July 14th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tickets are $10 in advance. They're $15 at the door. Sponsors and vendors are welcome. This goes back to helping build. It goes back to helping to build that. Tell me the name of it.
It's going to be called Breaking New Grounds Transitional Learning Living Center.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
Breaking New Grounds.
That's it.
Transitional Learning Living Center. I love it. 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 Guys, make sure that y'all go. If you have any more questions, more information, please contact 254-598-0240. Or you can go on Eventbrite at 2019 tasteofafrica.eventbrite.com. Oh, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome. Always a
I'm
pleasure.
always have you back because that's just what we do.
Yes, ma'am.
And guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. You know that you can follow me on all social media outlets at Toni Ringgold Music. That's TONIRINGGOLD. You can also make sure that you go and download My B106, the app, and then go on to Facebook, B106 Hip Hop and R&B. And also you can listen to this show and other shows on myb106.com. Click on the tab that says At the Square with Toni Ringgold, and you'll be able to hear this show and others. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and thank you so much, Rod, for stopping by today.
Always.
Yes, and guys, always remember, there's enough sun for everyone to shine. Be blessed.